In this episode, we catch up with Jess and Bob from the film, the amazing home birth family that shared their first birth with us all on the big screen. We talk about why they said yes to sharing this intimate time in their lives with us, what's happened to them since the film's release, including how they are handling their newfound fame, because, you know, they are so famous now. And they take us through the inspiring birth of their second child, their beautiful daughter, Lydia. Hello, welcome back to our second episode of the Illuminate podcast. I'm your host, Eleanor Curry, and my co-host,
Amanda Banks.
I just love that we get to have a chat and catch up.
I know. How good is it?
That's what I love about this.
Kid-free, usually. What a perk. But we have some children joining us today.
We do. I'm so excited because we've got Jess and Bob from the film, absolutely famous now, worldwide superstars.
Yeah.
They, if you've watched the film, they kind of arrive about the 20-minute mark and tell their story of their very first home birth. It was their first child and they went straight into it. They planned a home birth from the get-go. And oh my gosh, it's just this amazing, beautiful, 5 to 6 minute passage of the film that everybody adores, where we get to meet you, your late stage pregnancy. We get to see the home birth as it's happening, and we get to hear the debrief afterwards. And oh my gosh, we've attended the cinema screenings and people have loved it.
Yeah.
Like cracking up. Jess, you've cracked everybody up. And, tears. It's just, it's been amazing. We're so happy to have you guys here. So welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you all again.
Yeah, totally. So, oh my gosh, we're so excited. It's been so long since we've actually obviously sat down with you. It's been like 3, almost 4 years really since we filmed it. But I want to just get straight into it and just ask, why did you guys decide to be part of the film? Like, why did you say yes to putting one of the most intimate times of your life on camera for possibly the world to see?
Well, it was for me. It was just a timely, divine opportunity. It just was meant to be. There was no doubts or skepticism or any fears about having a camera, involved with our, special time, like doing things naturally as they are meant to be. Like, let's, in a way, it's like our contribution to the world and how natural and beautiful birth can be, and bringing life and a soul into this world. So why not show it to the world? Yeah,
I think
That's so good. Amazing.
Like, I felt like it was a great opportunity to, number one, have our birth filmed, and number two, I'm not camera shy really. So I was like, if this is going to make a positive impact on the world, well, at first I was like, just the country, is this going to make a positive impact on Brisbane?
Yeah.
Then why not? And plus, I thought, I was going to say, make it good. But I thought it'd be a great opportunity for everyone.
Yeah, and I think it really was, because so many people resonated with your story, like having a baby at home for the first baby. Like a lot of women say, for the first one, I'll have a baby in hospital, and then the second one, I'll have a baby at home. And, they don't, if it's not represented, they don't know that it's a possibility. And so to have, you both on the screen saying like, we have no fears, we're just going to have a baby in a farmyard, basically. I think it was so inspiring for a lot of people. And we noticed that echoed throughout the screenings as well. Like, people were saying, now I feel confident to have my first baby at home. And, what a powerful story to share and inspire families to cut the hospital out and just go straight for the good stuff, Just so grateful that you both said yes.
Oh, it's such nice feedback, actually.
Yeah, it's beautiful feedback.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you, after seeing it, Jess and Bob, have you seen it?
No, I haven't had the opportunity yet to watch it, but
You've just seen your section.
Yeah, I've just seen our
Oh,
section.
you've just seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to send it to you. I'm sorry. I thought I sent it to you. I know. I remember we sent the small section. For some reason, I thought you'd seen it. Oh, Coomsy! I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, Jess, you could probably answer this. After seeing it, was it what you were expecting? Like once it all got put together and you saw it, on the screen, what were your thoughts?
Oh, honestly, I thought it was like way better than what I was expecting, to be honest. Like I thought the flow was beautiful, the videography was beautiful, like all the background music, like the visualizations, the feelings that I got, the stories, all these different stories come together to bring a beautiful like flow to the whole entire documentary. And yeah, it was beautiful and inspiring. And I came out of that with some positive and even like some sad stories as well. But a good insight of what's actually going on in our birthing system.
Yeah.
And you were funny. Did you know you were funny, Jess? Oh my gosh,
funny one.
You were the serious one in this one, Coombsy.
Oh.
You got to have a balance, though. You got to bounce that through.
Yeah, honestly, every single screening we attended, no joke, the whole room cracked up when you came on, Jess. Every single time we just look at each other like
we know it's coming. And also, like, it went from this serious tone as well, like to people like, feeling emotional, and then it was just like hilarious. And then, like Coombsy come on with his part as well. It's just such an emotional roller coaster, that section, I think, like for everyone. It was so perfectly placed in the middle of the film as well.
That's so funny. I feel like when I'm myself, I can be quite like my brain just thinks, oh, this is how it is, and just out.
Yeah.
Like when I'm free to speak, that's just what happens, I think.
It's just the honesty, I think, as well, and like just the pureness of like your reactions as well. Like, I thought my sacrum was going to rip in half. I never told me that. It's just like, but it's true. Like you have these sensations that it's just like, wow. But then also it's such a beautiful experience at the same time. Like it's just such an honest recount of birth, Oh,
yeah.
So good.
I was like, I don't want to scare people, but this is the truth.
Yeah.
And you know what? That was one of people's favorite parts of it. Like so many times we had women coming out saying, thank you for representing it so really. Like on Instagram and things like that, you do see home births, but it's often just like, the small snippets of it. And it's usually the beautiful sections. But because I decided to put that real stuff in for you guys, it was like everybody connected to that. Everybody loved it. And they were like, thank you for showing what it is actually like, like full red face, just, the noises, because that is what it is. It's like, tribal almost. It's, letting that essence of that woman come out. And that's how you really have to birth. You have to completely let go, completely surrender, not care what you look like, sound like, any of that. You just have to be right in it. And you did that so well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like, it's a rite of passage for sure.
Yeah.
You can't just have a baby without enduring any sort of like painful sensations. Like it has to happen. It's not an easy ride. You
have to go through it.
Probably set for parenthood after that. Like nothing should be nothing.
It's fine.
It should be just like easy.
Yeah, but it is. It's true.
Yeah. That's a good point to make as
develop
well.
Resilience through birth.
That's it. Yeah. And if you don't get to go through that, if you end up with like a cesarean, if it's an unwanted, unnecessary one, then you miss out on all that powerful energy that's surging through you, that's opening you up and activating you for parenthood.
Yeah.
And so true. I was just going to quickly ask Bob, like, okay, every time I watch it, it's like I feel like everybody falls in love with you. The way that you describe you know, being there for Jess and what she's going through, you know, and the spiritual and emotional process that you witness. Like, it was so heartwarming to see a partner be so aware of what was happening and so present and be able to articulate it. Like, did you, like, going into that birth, did you have any thoughts about how you were going to be, or you kind of just decided to be present?
Yeah, just be 100% present, and just let it all flow. You know, it was all about trusting the process, the experience, the those that were experienced, like the midwives, just listening to them, being they were helping to facilitate the whole birthing experience. You know, they had their words of affirmation and support and encouragement for Jess, and I was just there not to not to take control of any kind of thing, just be there 100% for Jess. Yep.
Yeah.
And just be be there for, you know, her, and just hold space.
Yeah, and you were there.
Yeah.
Massaging me the whole entire time.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can really see that as well, like that connection between you two, and how like the birth, you know, even further cemented the dynamic as well, like the relationship. You can see like the closeness, and you know how we saw in the hospital section, which you haven't seen yet, Bob, but you know how fragmenting birth can be for people who experience birth trauma, and just like the opposite was seen so clearly in the footage in that section as well. It's like, you know, the family unit is just so connected.
Yeah.
And it's just so beautiful to see.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm so confident and trusting and in Jess's ability to give birth naturally now. So, you know, when it came time to have Lydia, you know, I just went out and checked the mail to see if it was.
Can we go into that story? Because Eleanor hasn't heard it, I don't think, but I have. So funny.
Yeah.
Like,
so just to give background to the listeners, you guys obviously had your first home birth on screen, but then pretty quickly afterwards you got pregnant again with your daughter. So tell everybody what happened with that birth.
Well, so it was Jessica's birthday as well. So it's just a beautiful present, you know, for both of us to have, you know, new life come into our world on such a special day. So I took Donnie to a music class in the morning.
I was going to come.
Yeah, Jess was going to come.
I got ready, put makeup on, did my hair.
She just felt not coming, eh? Or no, you or something.
No, I was starting contractions.
Yeah, you're just timing them.
Yeah, I was just like, a little bit of niggle. I might stay home and just feel into it.
Yeah.
It's nothing, but we'll just feel into it.
Yeah.
How many weeks were you, Jess, at that time?
38 and 5.
And Donnie was born at how many weeks?
40 weeks and 1.
Okay, so you're thinking like, you know, probably another week.
Yeah.
That's what we were expecting as well. It's like, we've got some buffering time there. So,
and it was like I had nothing, like no signs at all beforehand, like him, like it just kind of came suddenly. The thing was, we were living with Bob's parents, and my biggest fear was like having people around, like a lot of people, including the neighbours.
Yeah.
The neighbours are so nosy.
Yeah.
Like they just like through the back gate.
Through the back gate, they just dropping and saying hi.
Like like what is that? The Simpsons, that guy, Ned Flanders, like the super.
Yeah.
So I'd have been like literally like everyone had just gone that day.
Yeah.
You went to music class, your parents went out, neighbours left.
Yeah. Everyone was out, so
had this 2-hour gap that Lydia decided to come. So these surges were happening, and I was just like, okay, we'll just do some laundry. I'll get like the bedroom looking nice in case it happens. I want, you know, the bedroom looking nice on film. And then I thought I'll get into like my Bimby and Roy just in case, my top. So, you know, look nice on camera. And then I was like, okay, at least I got makeup done. That's good. And I'm just going to put some Pink Floyd on and just dance to it and just like feel into this. And then, yeah, it just got a little bit too much. So I rang Bob and I said, I text you. You need to come home. Maybe like fill the birth pool up. I think it's going to happen today. Like I'm 90% sure. And I took a selfie. I'm like, I'll do my last selfie, bump selfie. And then you didn't answer me. So I called and I was like, you need to come home. I need this birth pool filled up. And I was like just about to cry. And I'm like, oh, yeah, like emotions are coming in. So I'm like, okay, this is like transition-y kind of time. The midwives, asked me, like, how does it feeling? And I said, oh, it just feels like a really bad period pain. And, like, I want to do the biggest poo in the world. And so they're like, okay, just let us know if anything progresses. And, like, I've started to run the bath because I'm like, oh, maybe this will help. Got some music on in the bath, did a little bit of video for myself, and then got in the bath, and that's why I rang Mayette, the midwife, and I said, hey, Mayette, I'm crying now, so it's happening. I need you here now. So, and she's an hour away. So I got in the bath, and then I just started, like, screaming and, like, holding onto the wall, and I'm like, okay, yeah, she's actually really coming now. Okay, we got this. But I was actually freaking out because I had no support, like, around me. So I was like, okay, in my brain, I'm like, what? It just, all of a sudden, I just felt this down bearing, like boom into my pelvis. And I was like, what if she's sideways? What if she's sideways and comes out sideways? Like, it just felt so weird. Like, my legs couldn't close. And I was like, ah. And then Donnie came in the house and he's like, Mama. And I'm like, hey, Donnie. And I just let out this biggest scream and he started crying, running to Bob. Bob's like bloody checking the mail. And Bob comes in and he's like, what the hell is going on? Because he's hearing me screaming. And I'm like, I don't even know what I said.
Coming now. Yeah.
Coming now. Like, can you check me?
She's coming now. I was like, holy shit, she's breaching.
And I was like, can you check me?
Yeah. And yeah, like head coming down.
So you could see the crowning?
Yeah, saw the crown coming through. And I was like, yeah, talking to Mayette on the phone. And I was like, I don't think they're going to make it here. You know, I was expecting like another 4 or 6 hours, you know, of in the pool or something. And, you know, Jess is in the bath half full. Yeah.
And I was like, I can't deal with 6 hours of this. This better be over soon. Like, I can't be bothered. I'm really tired right now. I'm over it already.
Like within 10 minutes of coming home, I think, hey?
Yeah, within
baby
10 minutes.
Was born.
Yeah, so basically,
so
like as soon as though, like, because I said to you, I'm scared, I'm really scared. And that's all I needed to say to you, like, Jess, you've got this, you know what your body's doing. And and I was like, okay, cool. Like, all right, we're sweet. And then you said, oh, you're crowning. And I was like, I've made it. Like, this is it. This is like, we're over. Like, this is, the hard part's done. And the crowning was so funny because in my head I'm like, oh, let's see if I can actually push like they tell you in hospital. I was like, nah, can't do it. Like, how do people do it? I've got no idea. And so I was just like, you were massaging my perineum, getting that all soft for me, and I was just like feeling around the head. I was like, oh, this is so exciting. And then you, I think you changed the song or something, and then you turn around, there's like her head.
Yeah, try to put some music on.
Like, yeah, you changed the track.
Music, and then
her head was done. Her head was out. And you were looking at her.
Yeah. And then she came out.
And I was like, yeah. And I was like, it's such beautiful timing. No one was home.
Yeah.
You came home just in time with Donnie, who was just in shock.
He was just like...
stunned mullet.
Yeah. He didn't know what was going on.
Nah. And he still talks about it.
Does he?
Yeah, he's like, baby, come out of there. You were like, ah! And I was like, that's...
So was she born into the bath and then you picked her up, Jess? Or
yeah, she was born actually like over the water. She never touched the water.
Yeah, I grabbed her.
Because I was like standing up.
And gave it to Jess.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was she like? Was she, same as Donnie, kind of just calm, opening her eyes?
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know,
she was crying actually a bit, and
crying a little bit, but yeah,
that's right, because she was born so quick. She had like, it was like, oh, I can hear some fluid in her lungs, but which can happen if a baby's born super quickly. And I was like, oh, I'll just breathe into her mouth a little bit just to make. Oh no, I was sucking her mouth just to get out any fluid, and her nose just to get out any fluids. Just as like instinct, you know. I don't know how that happened. I was like sucking it out and just to make sure nothing was there, and then
Jess will have to send you the video of it because I caught a lot on just on the phone.
Wow.
While we were doing it, so yeah.
And then
yes, definitely, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what were you like? Obviously, it happened so fast, so it was didn't give you much time to think or feel. But do you remember like feeling anything, Jess and Bob, afterwards? Like yes, I did it, or was it the same kind of feelings as when you had Donnie, or like what were you feeling?
This was more of more awe-inspiring and like surprises happen so quickly and so naturally, like with very little support. My expectations were something like what we did with Donnie. It's all going to be calm, cool, people surrounding, we got photographers and all that all organized. So I was like, all right, I'm waiting for that just to unfold naturally, and it's like it's done.
And I was like super energized afterwards. Like, oh, that was just, a little bit of a jog instead of a
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was more of a bit of a sprint.
Yeah, a bit of a sprint.
10-minute
sprint.
Yeah.
And daytime as well. Like I think like when you birth during the day, you're just not as physically tired as you are like overnight. Because how long was Donnie's labour in total?
6
or 5 hours?
5 hours, like a super active labour. It was like 16 from the first niggle.
Yeah.
At like
in the morning, didn't it?
Yeah. And I was
like, 5 in the afternoon he was born,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours first niggle. Like, what was it? 9 o'clock was like the first niggle, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
How did you find the recovery? Like, was it easier? It was easier than Donnie?
So I got a little bit of a scrape, like tear-wise. So they just said, oh, just lie in bed for 2 weeks with your leg closed. And I feel like it was like a lot better recovery. With Donnie, I was walking around like a crooked, like a half-opened
pocket knife
for like... But with her, I was like, oh, I feel like I can like leave the house a week later, and
easier.
I had a little bit of a tear, so I had to like
rest up.
But
and then because after the birth, that's when everyone else turned up and was like,
oh yeah,
all about the cleanup and give up some support, and Jess was in great hands. Her mother turned up, my mum turned up, and so that motherly nature, just all that support with the right types of food and comfort, that was happening in the background was all taken care of. Yeah.
Did the neighbours pop in again?
I can't remember.
They were like the first ones to get a call from your parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Classic.
And
so
family.
And my dad's got a bit of a big mouth, so he was straight on the phone to all his family members, just telling her, she had her in the bath. Like,
oh, and I'm gonna call hubby because she was born in the bath.
I remember you saying, Bob, in the first interview that we did, that your parents were quite medical.
Yeah.
And that even though they supported you, they couldn't understand why you'd want to do a home birth.
Yeah.
Were they, like, after this one, how do they feel?
I think that really helped to change their perspective on how, natural and, I guess, medical birthing can be. Yeah, so I think it really helped with them. Their skepticism of the whole, idea of home births.
No, darling.
Yeah.
Come on.
So it was, it was really good for them. Yeah.
Your dad, because he didn't know that home birth was actually happening until like a month before she was born.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell him. That's not my job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he apparently, their household rule is if he doesn't know doesn't hurt him or something.
Yeah.
And then he found out and he just said, well, as long as it's safe. And then after she was born, I think he just said to me, I'm really so proud of you. And I think that really me.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
That coming from my father,
Yeah.
like even I haven't heard words like that.
Mm.
I was like, wow,
wow.
something big for my dad to say.
Mm.
Yeah.
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 Because you can see, like, if you're there in those first hours after birth, you can see how beautiful it is as well. Like, you can see why people choose it because it's just everyone's just so connected and it's so calm and peaceful and everyone's safe. And so, like, I think there's just this image of birthing at home as just being super dangerous. So for
Yeah.
them to see that it's not,
Yeah.
it can really change your perspective.
Yeah, and all it takes is, with the media as effective as it is, it only has to take one story to put people off and paint a picture of, of how bad things could be,
Mm.
and then people become biased because of that story.
And I think on the news, like a couple of weeks before she was born, just after your dad found out, there was something on the news about home births and how dangerous they are. And I was like, are you for real? Because they love the news. They work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's so crazy. But the thing is, like, obviously you planned a home birth with the same midwives for Lydia, but you ended up actually effectively doing it yourself, like a free birth.
Yeah.
Which is just such a testament to you, and your body that, your body felt safe to do it. It felt safe to birth without anybody there. Whether you knew it or not, it was like your body was saying, yep, we're all good. And, for sure that came from having your first baby at home and realizing that you could do it. You were the one that did it. The midwives are there to support you and that's wonderful, but you are the one doing it. So did you have any thoughts about, like, when you realized you were just going to be there by yourself? Did you have any thoughts around, like, can I do it? Can I not do it? Or was it, how are you feeling?
I felt like it was divine timing that just no one was there. I felt like it was just what we needed because that was my biggest thing. I don't want the whole neighborhood coming in and out. So I thought the universe was giving me no one except myself and this baby to be there until the last 10 minutes. And you came along. And I was thinking in my head, okay, like, I got this. A little bit, obviously scared in that transition stage where I thought she was sideways and all these weird things. But no, I felt really confident. Like, even after she was born, like in the video, I'm like, wow, I'm like really rocking it. Like,
yeah, you are. So good.
Oh, I don't even look like I had a baby come out of my vagina. Like, jeez.
And how good was that setting you up for, like, parenthood the second time around, It's just, like, blows me away that nature has designed all of this, especially as a continued process. Like, the birth sets you up for being that mum that feels like, she can do anything. Like you said, like, I'm just rocking this, and you feels like that is so hard in itself. So then getting the hang of breastfeeding and the lack of sleep, all that kind of stuff pales in comparison to, and that memory and that oxytocin. And it's just like Mother Nature just knows what she's doing.
Absolutely. Do you feel like the births impacted, the postpartum period and like the dynamic between, yourself and Bob and the kids?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that it's given us great confidence and trust within ourselves, in our relationship, that we can do anything. It's a awesome foundation to build a relationship, to make it even more, more deeper than what it was before, that's for sure. Because how many times can you have such an experience like this with someone that you love, and care for, and then you bring someone else into this world together? Sure, it's beautiful, going through the hospital system for some people, but there's nothing that compares to this. There's definitely nothing that compares to this.
And you were the one that was checking me.
Yeah.
You were the one that was like getting the poo out of the bath and wiping my bum.
Yeah.
That's love
right there.
Yeah.
Like all that superficial stuff. That's like all part of it. Like you seem my most vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to be there with your partner in her most vulnerable state, where she needs the support, and just a simple reminder that she has that support and encouragement to let it just happen naturally. Yeah.
I can pretty much do anything in front of you now.
Yeah.
So good.
But yeah,
that's what you want.
That's what you want.
Like,
100%.
it was funny, like when even after Donnie, we had the conversation about, what if we do a free birth next time, just with the idea, but we just weren't that confident with it. Well,
with the tearing and stuff, like potential
just
tearing.
Yeah, exactly, just for that
aftercare.
That aftercare. But we ended up having what we talked about.
Yeah, we had the best of both worlds.
We did. Yeah.
The aftercare, and then we did it ourselves. The actual birth.
We wouldn't change anything. Like, in retrospect, there's nothing that we would have done differently.
The only thing I would have done is set up the camera for the whole entire experience. Like,
yeah.
But you know what? I just realized a few months ago, before I even met Bob, I used to watch birth videos, and I saw this beautiful birth in the bath, woman by herself, and she did a few contractions, and her baby was born. She's like, oh, like really surprised. I was like, ooh, I'd love something like that. And it happened pretty with you supporting me. I was like, it's amazing, what you put out there and what you wish for.
Totally.
Power of manifestation.
It's like those little thoughts where it doesn't feel like there's much to it, and it's just like, this little light thought, and then it goes. Those are the ones that I find end up happening because there's no other, heaviness attached to it, no like wanting or desire. It's just like, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. And then those things always happen. It's just so interesting.
Yeah.
I wanted to just shift gears a bit here and just tell you some stats. So far, if you didn't know, this film has screened in 4 countries already.
Oh, cool.
There's been over 120 screenings. Almost 10,000 people have seen it.
Wow.
Over 10,000 now.
Yeah, over 10,000.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So how does that make you feel, like knowing that all of those people, and it's going to be a lot more, once we go to streaming next year, have seen, and been impacted by you guys and your story?
That is so cool. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know how that makes you feel.
I've always wanted to be famous, but I didn't know I was going to be famous to that.
Yeah.
People love you, Coombsy.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, people come out and they're like, that's sad. That was like...
Morning, I go, that feeling is love. From around the world.
From around the world.
So
you need to do dad groups.
Yeah.
You need to do like online dad education, like birth classes or something like that.
Yeah, Coombsy, honestly, we've had that question so much come up from dads in the audience, like, how can I prepare? Like, is there any resources? Like, what should I do, basically?
Well, for me, it was all about, being 100% committed to the idea, attending all the appointments with the midwives, listening to stories, going to the groups, even if you're only if you're even if you're the only male there within the home birth group, man, there's a so much wisdom within those women with their home birth that you can learn from. I think the internet can do you a disservice, but by going to these groups and meeting these women and men who have done it and have been doing it, the facilitators and that's where you're going to really learn, because it's all about the experience. Sure, there's element of science there that you can learn from, but the experience in of itself, yeah, it's phenomenal. You're just going to, and how do you describe love that you get from being there 100% with your partner as new life comes into this world? It's just like the emotion, the joy, the persistence of being there 100%. Yeah, it's all rewarding, and that's invaluable, to yourself, your relationship, and your kids.
Yeah, and I liked when you said that you had just complete trust and faith in Jess.
Yeah.
In her body and her ability.
Yeah, and I loved it. I've been waiting for her to get into that, that kind of animalistic aspect that I knew that she had, that nature of her, and I saw it within her birthing of Donnie, and I was just like, yes, that's the woman. That's the powerful woman there that I knew that she was. Yeah. And when Lydia came around, I saw not just the powerful woman again, but the competent woman. She had the trust within herself. She knew to do this, and that, there was very little, that's why my whole involvement was only 10 minutes, and because she knew that she could do it. She'd proven it to herself that she could do it.
It's almost like that first birth, you put all of that energy into her, saying, you've got this. I have faith in you. I see within you that woman, and I'm waiting for her to emerge because I know she's coming. And then that energy, just infused into Jess, and then she took it on, and so then she's now believing that in herself. So then you could just sit back and witness. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
So nice.
Mm-hmm.
So Banks and I were talking before, and we were wondering if you've been recognised at all.
So I saw, because we've moved, and I was selling a whole bunch of baby stuff, and someone picked up. She's like, I know you from somewhere. Actually, it's happened a couple of times. She's like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, have you watched about Born at Home? She's like, yes. I'm like, yeah, in that. And then I went for Donnie the other day, and she's like, oh, you look so familiar. I'm like, have you seen Born at Home? She's like, yeah. I'm like, yep.
It's me. In Darwin.
Well, she would have seen it here. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're just gonna have to wear the shirt around.
I reckon.
Yeah.
And I went to a mum's meetup, and one of them had seen Born at Home there too. So yeah, I was like, oh, this movie's getting around.
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
So cool, hey?
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
I think it's harder to approach a man than it is a woman.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a bit like a pickup line. Yeah. Have I seen you before? Do I know you?
Yeah, there's no way I'll get recognised, which is,
probably a good thing.
A good thing. Yeah. But, I've just met a few people which I'd like to share the information to now. So found a group of people, that resonate with a lot with our goals and values and principles where we want to go next with our lives. So, yeah, I'll be happy to share the film the documentary with them.
When it comes out, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
we're super excited for once it goes online next year, because there's just been so many midwives and birth workers and just even women who just want to share it as a resource, like for their their family, friends, pregnant friends, and that would be that's obviously the ideal for us, is just like get every woman to see it, but also their partners. Like that is just like seeing you and the other dads, especially the ones that had their doubts first. So many men related to them as well. Just like, oh, I don't know what this home birth thing is, but I love my wife or partner, and I'm willing to trust them and go through the process. And then on the other side, they're just like, this is amazing. Why doesn't everyone know about this? Yeah. So,
and I just want to share my gratitude and praise for you guys as ambassadors, in your efforts for spreading, the awareness of natural birth to the world, and putting this all together, and giving us the opportunity to be part of that too. So
thank you.
Thanks, Bob. That's so nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
When you asked me, I was like, yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
That's like one screening in Brisbane. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the plan, right? Like, and I wondered like how people felt about that, because, it's one thing, because originally we thought the film would just be our local community, like, or maybe like a few screenings, and then all of a sudden like UK.
Yeah.
And it just took off, and I wondered like how people felt about that huge expansion, because you can't imagine that that's even possible. Like, we had no thoughts about distribution when we created this film.
Yeah, it's a beautiful and powerful asset to humanity, and just trust in that snowball effect, man. It's just keep rolling and growing. Yeah.
100%.
Totally. Yeah, because imagine if we had said to like all the guests, so we are making this film, it's going to go worldwide, it's going to be thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands, by the time you finished. People are going to see it. Like, is that okay? Like,
it's quite intimidating.
It'll be a Netflix special in no time.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah.
No, darling.
That's the dream.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, just accessibility.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's so exciting. Hey.
Yeah.
So Banks and I are already starting on our next film, just because we, are gluttons for punishment and we hate sleep. We thought we'd just add another project on the mix.
Our birthing's done, so we need something hard to do.
Yeah, that's right. So it's going to be a bit of a follow-on, particularly around, postpartum early parenting. And we were wondering, just put you on the spot, live on air, if you would be maybe interested in being in another film.
Oh, 100%. I'm down.
Yay! We'd have to come to Darwin.
Yeah, we'd have to come to Darwin.
Keep the documentation going, because, we're continually growing as parents, as lovers, and share
the beautifulness around the world.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to contribute greatness to humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys, it sounds funny saying this, but you are such a good case study. Really, truly. And it's not because like you're perfect or anything like that. It's the opposite. It's because you guys are so natural. It's almost like so innocent and so honest, vulnerable, going through life just with an open heart and love, and like what more can you ask for? And that's sort of, I reckon that's an ideal to strive for anyone.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah. And also you're going through the hard things too. Like, it's not easy. Birth isn't always easy, even though it's rewarding. Early parenting has its challenges, and we want to explore how birth can impact those times as well. And I just think it's beautiful to watch you two go along this journey and go through the hard stuff as well. So we're excited to like chat about the challenges as well and how you've overcome them.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Lately.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Forward to doing the episode when the kids leave home.
Wait, what? Sorry?
The kids leave home.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
intense, isn't it?
We
Yeah.
can do you can do Lydia's home birth too.
Yeah.
Probably enough footage there.
No, like as in like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So good.
Yep. So put
Yay.
that in the books, Banks. We're going to go up
It's
to
in the books.
Northern Territory, which is where you
Yeah.
guys are now. Yay.
Mhm.
NT.
See you in the NT. Oh.
Well, thank you so much for, well, firstly, being part of the film, because honestly, it would not have been the same without you. It was the
Yeah.
perfect mix of humor, which we all needed throughout the film to kind of break up those heavy emotions and, the sad bits and the beautiful bits, but also just like how real you are with each other, and then how we got to see that. Like, we got to have a glimpse into your relationship, your birth story, and also, just allowing us to chat to you now as well. Like, we're just so appreciative of your time and the vulnerability that you give us access to. So thanks again so much.
Thank you.
No worries.
Oh no, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you guys. It's been an honour and a privilege and a humbling experience for us all.